Actually, I was about to make a video before. This is my second attempt, and the moment I press the record button, and I kind of lost the plot. I see many people making videos in their own ways. There's always, I think, this thing about, because before making the video, before you press the button, record button, you have things going on. The moment you press the button, I'm not sure. It's like many people have this. There's this thing, fight, flight, freeze. When you face certain situations, what you do, you flight, run. You fight, or you freeze. And it could happen in different situations. And that's the moment I press the record button, I'm gonna. Don't know what happens. I thought this time, like I said, I pressed the record button a bit ago. Whew. This time I just let it out this way. I just say, say instead of. And by the way, I'm going to be drinking my tea. I have this thing. But this time I got tissue. It was a bit, it looked a bit, kind of thing. Like a cat. I just have kind of habit. Anyway, I thought make this video even a bit more rougher than my usual videos. Kind of gives me all the more space to be myself. Because I don't edit videos, I don't have a script. I just think of things, and or things think of me and trigger me. And plus having a bit of mode. This is going to be a mix of last couple of videos. I was actually seeing a video and it triggered to me something like one video I made about COVID and autism and stuff like that, and a video after behind the scenes for that. So that bit, and well, in a way related, and the post I made about the stuff going on all over the world. I mean, I made a few posts. I mean, apart from that, there's a lot of stuff I've kind of bookmarked. Discrimination, harassment, violence against autistics. Now it's kind of funny. One of them was. I still am trying to learn those things. There's so many. I mean, there's a whole alphabet to my understanding, and more coming. That's the problem. The LGBT, A B C D E, and this kind of funny, because when that kid asked that person, is a boy or girl. I don't know exactly, the teachers weren't there, and no, I'm not sure there was any witnesses, so if the boy really asked in a sarcastic way. But I'm making these videos here to develop understanding and provide information for people who are not autistic. So in that case, I have to take a lot in. I have to understand their point of view. I have to be welcoming to the questions and criticism and whatnot, and be like more welcoming. That's not going on the other way around. That's not going on that side. They're taking a bit too extreme. Considering that case, the incident, considering it happened in UK, where as per the Equality and Autism Act, they have their rights. And that as well as there was another case of I think Jamaican Kid, who's born and bred here. I read about him. I posted about it in my phone, but the thing was, the bit I was missing out on were the stuff, and I haven't gone on about it as much because there was a bit I was missing out in the case. I read a few links, news articles, and I read the detail that changed out a bit. There was bits missing. But above all, I'm not sure he's got the right representation. Whoever is defending him, whoever's taking his case, because now I'm gonna go a bit kind of hardcore. Is because this is connected to a post I made, and here is a video version and a bit more visual and detailed. Now, just because he's so called to say so, that's again a detail missing out here. He's a dual national because he's a British Jamaican. Because in case of foreigners, just like in that case of the IS bride, so-called Shamima Begum, since the Home Office had the right, or not the right grounds to strip her of her citizenship. Now, if that's the thing, if a so-called terrorist was British, then they can't deport them. They can't strip them of their right of citizenship. Now, her case is being fought for her to fight against her citizenship being stripped, because the Home Office has done things. The only thing is who got what it takes to this done and everything to fight against the thing. So Home Office stripped her of her citizenship because she was ancestrally she was Bengali, and she wasn't born there. She was born in Britain. Yeah, Home Office had the ground. So it's like, because the thing is, otherwise if you don't do this thing of, then it becomes stateless, because you don't, if you lose your British citizenship, there's not national of any country. But in her case, the legal ground was, in a way, it was a legal ground. Her ancestry was Bengali from Bangladesh. So Home Office played that, made the move. Right or wrong, that's the thing. Her solicitors are fighting for her rights, so she can appeal against it. And it's still going on, that she can even come back here to fight for her rights, fight for her case. I'm not exactly too for and against here. I'm just referring to an instance. So same way in this kid's case, Osam, I think his name is, Sam Brown, Jamaican, but not born and bred Jamaican, born and bred British. Home Office doing that. That's the thing with the foreigners, so-called foreigners. No, he's not a foreigner himself. I think, I'm not sure, I can't remember. He was very young when he came here. He's born and bred here. But that's the thing in that case. I think he was very young when he came here. So those are the moves that in the legal world. A few years ago, the thing that Theresa May did, that was a move she made for non-EU citizens. When they want to come to UK, they have to fulfill some requirements, and one of them was they have to, the sponsor who is here for the spouses and spouse visa, have to earn, there was a requirement of 18,600 per year, have to earn that, so they can sponsor their spouses, non-EU spouses. It was objected and matter went to the court, but somehow the Home Office won the case, and the court said it's not fair, but it's not legal either. Same time, Trump lost his case against Mexicans. That was apparently illegal. Trump lost it. Now, only the right thing was that Home Office played the move in the right way, so it wasn't illegal. So that's the thing, the legalities of it. So I didn't get the point there in Osam's case, that now he is witnessed, he spent time, 5 years, now in a month's time he's about to be deported. But that's the thing, does he have rights? The solicitors representing him know how to play the game. That's the thing about it. So far I've worked out the law and this and that, and it's how you may, I remember I watched a whole lot of Suits and this and that to get the clues that it's not about just law, it's about what clauses you use, how you, it's like chess. It's exactly what it was portrayed in Suits and many other sources I've seen. That's how it works. So how you fight for your rights compared to other parties' side. And this is where I realized that and in many other cases, in case of the kid Tate Modern case, in case of there's another kid who was who spent 14 years under NHS, went through a whole lot of torture, whatnot. I mean, and apart from that, there's been cases of kids being mistreated in NHS setup. There's been National Autistic Society scandals. There's been private setup for autistic children. Another one is called ManCap. They had their own scandals. It's all over the place. Despite the thing that there's rights, despite the Equality Act and despite the Autism Act, a decade old, both are decade old. Our Equality Act is 2010, Autism Act is 2009. And the Equality Act, autistics have the rights to have certain adjustments and requirements to be provided for them, and that even gets even hardcore in case of Autism Act. None of that is there to be seen. Now in this case again, I'm not sure whose representatives are, who's fighting for his case, and this thing, that's how you do these things. So that's when I posted those articles, and those articles, and I made a post. So I thought like put in a more visual form, visual version of it. This is something we here are trying to do. We have, and as I put in my post, we've been dealing with 3 cases. To say so, for about 2 years, it took a whole lot of research work and this and that. It was a very, very complicated situation. Incredible amount of anxiety. Cause not easy to get into that drag game, because that, as it is now, 3 cases, 1 temporarily withdrawn, intending to go back. 2, we had compensations offered, petty compensations as their usual tactic. They're going to push us, they're going to fight it no matter what. And that's where it's like a test, an incredible test to see how far, how much stamina you got. And that's how I think about it, and I have to take a deep breath even I'm doing correspondence on this stuff. And that's where it is, because they, as of now, that's the thing, neither, and cases in non-normal courts and in employment tribunal, it's against product and service provider. I can't name the names as of now, confidentiality and stuff, against 2 cases in employment tribunal. All the evidence is there, all the moves are there as it is, from 2 companies, one from the employment tribunal and 1 commercial company. Compensation has been offered, very petty. Nevertheless, when compensation has been offered, it means guilty. Now that's the thing, they're fighting it still, so not to lose as much as they are expected to lose as in compensation. Now here, we're not just, I mean, I've made about a dozen videos. You know, that's not it, that's not just it, that's not all we are here for. Awareness and this and that. Now I'm going to give it another angle. I saw a post somewhere about I keep seeing that kind of stuff. Labels. High functioning, low functioning, la 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 la. Now these things are not made by mere mortal. Neither SPs nor NT, la la la. Well, okay, can say somewhat. This is made by the ones who set the rules, who set the standards. This is not made by people around you. You're having an argument on your Facebook pages, on your posts and stuff. It's not made by them. They haven't got nothing to do. You can argue as all you want. This is made by an organization, American organization called American Psychiatrist Association, APA, who writes, which I've talked about before, this manual as of now we are going through and on the 5th version DSM, which I again talked about before, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for mental disabilities. They are the ones who set the rules. They are the ones who set the standards. So you wanna make changes to them, you gotta be at that level. That's exactly what we're trying to do through those cases. Now, before we get to fight those cases, we have to ask for the adjustments to be made. Now, like I said, during all the correspondence, a whole lot of it got anxiety, okay, because they talk as they're talking to anyone else. They don't know about, and they don't take into consideration the adjustments that need to be made. They've been told to be clear, explicit, precise, but they keep yak. They have, considering they have to, apparently. It's not that by law they have to. By law they shouldn't be in this case. But they do because they're so used to their so-called professional way of doing things. They make sorts of ridiculous mistakes on one hand and then pretend to be professional on the other hand. Sorry. So in that post I saw a post about like when you say about high functioning, so it doesn't mean, and high functioning is when it's mildly autistic. I can't remember exactly the number because it's 1 or 3, because there's 3. Sometimes people even say at level 4. Officially there's no such thing as level 4. There's 3 levels. I can't remember which one is which. But anyway, mildly autistic is high functioning autistic. This is what said by, I mean, it's not just in this case. They've done with DSM-5 as compared to DSM-4. They have done it this way. DSM-5 was a different way of doing it. 4, with DSM-5 they have done it this way, so saying the level. When I was filling the form, I don't think I have to fill it myself. I could have manipulated, but I didn't care to. But the thing is, I knew I'm not reaching up to the level where it's severe enough for me to be diagnosed and then qualify for the medications to be prescribed. Yeah, to get the medication, I told the doctor about this, about that, that we need to diagnose it. And that's not just because that's the thing, case is not severe enough, alright? Not that the case doesn't exist at all. This is where they kind of discriminate, to say so. In a way, that's where it's wrong. But it's nothing to do with the people. And again, I don't know how many of you are from UK, the way things work as compared to US and Australia is different way of doing things. But in UK, there's a thing, as of now, considering NHS is short funded, ongoing austerity, we're going for, I think since last, to the premiership, Theresa May, since Tory has been in power, it's been going on, and because of that being short funded, they only deal with the serious cases. It's all over the place. Even for dentists, they only deal with emergency. Well, I'm not going to go into the rest of the whole shenanigans of it, but that's the story here. So it's not severe enough, and plus that NHS is short funded, so you can't look at that unless you want to go private, which costs money. Whatever you're paying your taxes for. So this is where they set the standards. I mean, their standards aside, that's America who sets the standards. This is Britain who's abusing the standards. The case is not severe enough, sorry. Bugger off. So when I saw that post, I thought too, but then that's the thing, okay, it's like banging your head against the wall. Because it's not going to get anywhere. The ones who set the standard are the ones who set the standard. You can yak all you want about it, but the ones who set, and that's where we come, in a way, to say so. We are trying to do that thing, try to work out things. Like, as per, severe or not severe, rights are there, mate. Rights are there. So obey the law. And this is what we are fighting for. Now this is another angle where we are going a bit different direction. As much as we are trying to do campaign, awareness and campaign and this and that, we are trying, and this is, I'm gonna say no kidding. I saw an organization went, again in the science case, went to Home Office for peaceful protest against his deportation. the thing is, no kidding. I mean, that's why I was saying, like, is there a legal clause for them to come up with so the Home Office could stop the deportation, could not deport him? Because I saw an article. That's the thing. Home Office, their representatives said, we're just following the way the things are, following the so-called law. And yeah, as per to that, he's to be deported. Just like in that case of that girl, IS, so-called IS bride. No, she's fighting for. This is, they follow the law. Just the way I said to you that requirement, Home Office won the case because it wasn't illegal. These protests, peaceful, especially peaceful, is the worst of the thing at the moment, as of now, right now, because the way things are, peaceful. So, but not violence either. Fight for your rights. Fight the way it's fought. Yeah, over there you gotta be fierce. And having gone through it for over 2 years, I mean for 1 year, having had to do a lot of research and this and that, find out, I mean, like, beginner's guide, I went to the local organizations and I mean, made loads of calls, loads of emails, loads of this, interacted with loads of organizations, I mean over a dozen organizations, wherever the help could be, nowhere, there was nowhere help. Again, for sakes, for British viewers, that's the thing, I can't name the names because no point, it's all over the place. Not a single organization, I mean, there was an organization that is there's to support promote equality, and they didn't even know about Autism Act. I mean, the person even asked me what year was the act from. Well, the thing is, they don't know anything about autism, let alone Autism Act. Forget about adjustments. They don't know anything about private companies. They don't know anything about government companies, even though as per the Autism Act. Now, it's when I talk about them, even I feel like I'm talking about some kind of fantasy or myth. As per the Autism Act, Health Secretary is supposed to keep an eye on and keep evaluating it, keep reviewing it. And I'm not, you are going to give me COVID shenanigans, it's hardly only been a few months now, as per they say 6 months. I'm talking about law that's been there for 10 years. So that's where this whole thing is. Neither private organizations, private companies, commercial companies, non-government companies, none whatsoever, or even like so-called police. You saw that incidents about autistic teen, what's going on in America, Canada, discrimination, harassment and violence. In the courts, everywhere you go. NHS, I mean, you name it, everywhere. No, rights are being violated and abused. Now here I'm going to say, because in my last post I said we are considering to start a charitable organization, which is not only going to be doing, not to take the matter properly nationwide, official, to register a charity and then campaigns and everything. We can have volunteers. Above all, obviously, will be much appreciated. So we can, if and when we get some funds, we already set up an account on GoFundMe. I'm going to be posting that soon, so we can get some donations to do some campaign and stuff. So meanwhile, that's the thing to begin with for this. So far, we've been doing everything all by ourselves. Bit of friends, bit of family. All the research work, this work and that work. Even, like I said, I'm kind of well versed with law myself because I've been studying it. The only thing is just getting stuck here and there, and there's a thing with the code, what adjustments you need, and that's the thing. So when the adjustment they talk about hearing, visual, and ramp, hearing loop, and this is ancient. No, that's not going to work, amigo. No, that's not what I'm talking about. This looks like this is a disability that's from 2050, not 2010. Equality Act 2010, Autism Act 2009. I'm talking about decade-old disability which you don't have any idea about. But it sounds like I'm talking about disability that's from 2050, very futuristic disability that you know nothing about, and it kind of becomes same as hard to communicate to them, to tell them what, and they're like, what? Yeah, it sounds absurd. No, man, we don't do that. They don't know anything about it. There's no one to tell them anything about it. No expert, so proper experts who know anything about autism. Yeah, there's a whole lot of shebang of non-autistics. I mean, NAS is non-autistic, Jamaican Kid is non-autistic, every other place is non-autistic, trying to set rules and standards for autistics. So here's a time when autistics are going to come up and fight for their rights. Enough of the abuse, I would say. And this is me being an officially diagnosed autistic. I'm trying to do here. So it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle to and help let them know, understand. And I get an incredibly anxious moment when they will ask, well, what adjustments you know? Okay, how do I tell what adjustment? Yeah, I got a whole lot of triggers. You got to work out the way you talk to me, the PDA, ODD, la da 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 da. And yeah. It becomes an incredible struggle to tell them, to communicate to them. Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do. I tell you to, because my adjustments are accordingly. You got to be even the way you write like email and stuff, font style, font color, because they have too much colors and too much capitals, get dyslexic. These things are totally overlooked. I mean, I made a post a bit ago elsewhere as well about how Netflix worked out their closed captioning because of someone dealt with them before that they didn't care. Amazon still mostly doesn't even have subtitles for people with hearing problem or deaf or dyslexic and this and that don't have it. BBC News don't care live. They have sign language live, but they don't have captioning or subtitles. I struggle with that. So they don't care about your, I mean, your Down syndrome, but then even Down syndrome, autistic / Down syndrome, they don't care if you're dyslexic, they don't care if you're Tourette. With that kid again, problem with him, with that the thing, you can say things and that profanity, vulgar language, colorful, we don't tolerate this. Tolerate and like this and that. So this is the time when you all got to get together. I mean, I'm more than willing, more than open to have other organizations join me. I've been doing it for over 2 years. Dealing with these legal matters and working out all the legal sides of it, aspects of it. So you're more than welcome to join me. Whether you are, I mean, we are intending to go everywhere, wherever you can reach here. I mean, now on the pages where I'm seeing how the things are in Australia, roughly, how the things are in Canada, how the things are in US. I already know how things are in UK. So we are open to any kind of collaboration, and we're intending to do some fundraising. And again, I messed up, sorry, this video is going to turn into be a bit of a long video, but there's so many things to it. As the more volunteers, I'm been doing all this voluntarily. More volunteers, less costly, but we're gonna make it out from the compensations. We are going to ask them for compensations. Now, I mean, I was just talking about GoFundMe thing to get some funding. It's not for the namesake campaigning and this. No, I'm not into that. This, even though I think I made a post about that voucher from Facebook to sponsor the. I haven't even used that yet. In time maybe, because that's the thing. I'm not into that abuse of power or finances, capital. I'm very tired with it, our city. So what we need right now is if someone can volunteer their legal knowledge and expertise and experience, else we're going to have to hire, and that's going to be an excruciating process, because to tell you, I've already dealt with dozens. I've interacted with them, they don't know anything about autism, so let alone to be able to fight it. So you got to know who you're dealing with. Do they know anything about your requirement? So that's additionally an excruciating process. I'm saying that because I've dealt with them. I've dealt with dozens. I've called, emailed, and and that's the problem. So then all we need is either if someone can volunteer, or otherwise we'll be hiring someone who can assist us or for consultancy, where we get stuck, those clauses, tactics, experience. Someone can give us a big picture so we can know what move to make, what the right move to make, and how to fight those moves that are made by others. There's too much to Google. Emails have been sent section this, they're not clear, and they're not clear on purpose. Despite you ask them to be clear, they're not clear purpose. Twice I emailed them and I have no idea what you just said. Once I emailed them, I have no idea what you said. They didn't care about that. They still sent me an email further. And I said to them, when I said that, I have no idea what you just said. And I told them I have no idea. Instead of you making adjustments for my disability and my requirement, you don't care. It's like run me over. They use too much of repetitive stuff, repetition, vagueness, and this and that. Hey, sensory overload. Can you get to the point? Can you precise, to the point? I haven't got time for that, yada, yada, yada. So this is my message here. We're intending to start a charitable foundation, organization that will help with our rights, adjustments all over the country. To say so, I know it's a far-fetched thing or a long shot, all over the world. We're intending to do that, and like we're gonna, I mean, I've been doing that for, like I said, 2 years, been fighting and fighting and fighting. It cost me a lot of health, and because of anxiety, stress, tension, a whole lot, but I'm still there. I'm still there. Just struggling to survive and fight all this. I mean, those big companies, big places we're against, somehow trying to, and with the hope we're gonna win, because that's the thing, believing in that we have enough to fight and win. Like I said, from 2 places we've been offered compensation, but as usual, the very petty compensation. You've got to fight for the rest. They just want to suppress us. Take a candy and shut up. No, not candy. I need the whole thing. I need you to compensate for the torture, harassment, abuse, breach of my rights, violation of my rights. I need you to compensate for all of that. I hope I have made my point. Rest as it is. I mean, I'll see how it goes based on comment. Normally I don't say it. Check all my videos, I never say it. But in this case I will say it because the only way for us to make it up, because you never know where we can get the help from. You never know. Share this as much as you possibly could. Like it, comment on it, so that's the way the algorithms work. This get more projection. I'm doing it for all of us, not just me. You're most welcome to join us, most welcome to help together. I mean, yeah, as long as we get along, obviously. Most welcome to, end of the day, in this, we have to be together. We have to put our forces and sources together to work it out, to fight for our rights, fight for the disability, discrimination, torture, violence, abuse, harassment we've been facing, we're going to be facing till we act on it. If there could be a Me Too, if there could be a BLM, if there could be LGBT rights and this and that. Where are we? Or else it's only gonna be, we're gonna be run over. So share this video as much as you can, please. Comment, like, whatever, however you can project this. Any questions? Shoot, private messaging or to the page. There's this problem, the page is public and the group is private. I can't comment on group because of constant restrictions, even in my own group, but you can private message to the page or to the group or to my I don't care, I don't mind that. Anyway, whatever, no matter how trivial, no matter how stupid you think your questions are, no matter what, ask them out. If you mean it, if you're genuine about them, ask them out. Whatever, I'll help you as much as I possibly could to my knowledge and stuff. Thank you for your time.